Hey guys, welcome back. Fantasy Sports Guru here. Check out my blog over at fantasysportsadvice.sportsblog.com. I'm still running my promotion that I had. I had a PlayStation 4 giveaway. Unfortunately, I did not get top 5 like I wanted in the sports standings over there. So I'm going to extend it up until January 1st. So New Year's Eve will be the cutoff at midnight. New Year's Day, I'll pick the person who wins. Hopefully that's because I'll be in the top 5. Now, what they're running over there at sportsblog.com is for 2 months until February, the most sports traffic you have going into your basketball blog will have a chance to win. The top place will win a trip to the NBA All-Star Game, which would be fantastic and awesome if you guys could help me out. Spread my blog. If you guys are using my advice, tell people about it. Tell them about the money you're winning. FanDuel, DraftKings, whatever you're using. Hopefully you'll like that. And just keep spreading it. Thanks for the love, everyone. It's been awesome. You guys have been great. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep going. Keep checking back. Share it. Do whatever you want. Now, what this video is going to be about is NFL Week 14. If you're doing year-long leagues, welcome to the playoffs. If you're doing daily fantasy sports, what are the playoffs? So you just keep playing. So, here's my top 10s by positions for Week 14. Let's go with QB. Number 1 overall, Drew Brees. I realize he just did awful against the Seahawks, but it was the Seahawks at home. Drew Brees is at home this week against the Carolina Panthers. He always rocks it when he's at home. Look for Brees to be the top QB this week. And for the price, I think he's going to do awesome. Second, Tony Romo against the Bears. The Bears' defense is awful. Tony Romo is Tony Romo. I know he has horrible Decembers, but I think he's going to have a great game. Regardless if they win or lose, he's going to do good. 3, Nick Foles. I'll be the first to admit that I was completely wrong about Nick Foles. All he has done is gone on fire since starting. He's going up against the Lions. They're iffy on defense. So check out Nick Foles. He's pretty cheap still, and he does really well. His go-to guy seems to be Riley Cooper, as Deshaun Jackson has kind of fallen off the radar. But just Deshaun, it's just different. So Nick Foles, look for him to do good this week. 4, Peyton Manning against the Titans. I think he's overpriced, obviously. He is the best QB out there, but his price is so high, and he's going up against the Titans. I would look to avoid him at all costs. But I put him on there because it's Peyton Manning, and he's going to do good regardless. Carson Palmer versus St. Louis Rams. The St. Louis Rams defense has been pretty good, so it just depends. So Carson Palmer's been real surprised lately, and he's pretty decent priced for what you're looking for. So put him in there if you're looking for GPP. I'm not sure if I'd put him in there for like head-to-head or 50-50 or double-ups. But if you're going to go for that big tournament, go big or go home, Carson Palmer can do that for you right there. Joe Flacco got that huge contract. Congrats. You got a lot of money coming towards you. You're just not playing like you used to. Now, they're on a kind of a mini roll, I'll say. And he is going up against the Vikings, who are probably going to throw out there. They're going to give up a lot of points. So look for Joe Flacco to have just a great game this week. Cam Newton against the Saints. It is the Saints defense at home, but it is Cam Newton. He seems to defy logic. I think he's going to do great this week especially. He's going to push them, and I think they're actually going to make the playoffs, and they're going to beat the Saints for the division. So check that out. That is a premier matchup this week. Josh McCown against the Cowboys. Jay Cutler is still out. McCown has been pretty good. The Cowboys' defense is pretty iffy compared to their offense, so McCown is in play today, or this week. Eli Manning against the Chargers. That does seem like an ideal matchup. The Chargers on defense have been just wretched, and I never use the word wretched, but Eli Manning's also been wretched, and he's been doing good lately, and they're on a roll winning, but that's why he's at the bottom of the list. He is a GPP play, which could land you lots of money, or it could make you in tears. So look out for him. So let's move on to running backs. Matt Forte versus the Cowboys. The Cowboys love to give up the run, and Matt Forte loves yards after catch and yards after carry. So Matt Forte is my number 1 this week. Number 2 is Jamal Charles at the Redskins. The Redskins, they're just awful on defense, and Jamal Charles is Charles, so he can get you in there. He's also going to cost you a little bit. No Sean Moreno versus the Titans. I think they're going to try and split time with Moreno and Ball so Moreno can stay healthy. So Moreno should have a pretty good, decent game towards the beginning of the game. But if Denver gets up too much, they're going to put in their second and third string running backs, and they're not going to throw the ball that much. So that is something to be cautious of. Eddie Lacy versus Atlanta. Atlanta is just awful this year, and Eddie Lacy has been down lately, so his price has gone down. But I think he's going to have a good game, good price. Now's the time to buy on Eddie Lacy. Ben Tate versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Ben Tate went off last week. He's going off against the Jaguars this week. I can feel it. He's got a great price. Obviously, his ribs are all healed up. I think he's good to go. Get him in there if you can. Baltimore Ravens. Adrian Peterson is going up against the Baltimore Ravens. Will he do good? I believe so. He might be a little overpriced, though. So that's what you got to look for. Yes, if he's overpriced, see if he's worth it, and if you can fit him in there. If you can fit him in there, great. He's going to have a good game, I believe, and get him in there. If not, we can go a little lower like an Eddie Lacy type. Chicago Bears, DeMarco Murray. He did amazing last week against the Lions. I think he's going to have a great game again, and it's the Bears on defense are all hurt. They have been hurt, wounded. I think Murray's going to do just amazing this week again. And his prices, it's up there on FanDuel, but I mean, we can work with that. We definitely can work with that. Andre Brown going against San Diego Chargers. San Diego Chargers, like I said, are not that good on defense, and Andre Brown has shown that he can be good, or they might not even rely on him. So I put him down on the list. Check back, as always, probably 30 minutes before game time to make sure he's not going to split time, he's not hurt, anything like that. Philadelphia, we've got Reggie Bush going against Philadelphia. Now, Reggie Bush has not been in the headlines for plays lately. I think he does good this week. Philadelphia is not that good on defense. Reggie Bush can go put it in beast mode like Lynch, and I think he's going to have a great game. LaShawn McCoy versus the Lions. Now, ever since Nick Foles took over, LaShawn McCoy has kind of gone down because Nick Foles likes to throw the deep ball. That's why he's down at the bottom of the list. His price has gone down a little bit. He's not that premier price that he used to be, and I think he could be a sneaky play this week. Wide receivers, Calvin Johnson, obviously Megatron's amazing and going up against Philadelphia defense. I think Johnson's going to reel in at least 2 touchdowns, over 250 yards, and that's just a guess. You're going to pay for him, but you know what you're paying for every time you take him. Brandon Marshall, Dallas Cowboys. Last week was Alshon Jeffrey's week. On my year league, I had him on the bench. Oh, well. But Brandon Marshall, I think, has his game this week against the Cowboys defense. Jacksonville Jaguars, you have to go with wide receiver against them. And this week is Andre Johnson. He had sort of a down week last week, but I think he picks it up, brings it back. I know they just played a couple weeks ago, but I think Andre Johnson has a monster game this week. I'm going to go out on a limb, say over 200 yards, at least 2 touchdowns. Alshon Jeffrey, I had to throw him in there just because he did so good, especially up against a Philadelphia Eagles defense. I just think both him and Marshall are going to do good. Josh Gordon, unreal. He's been on fire against the New England Patriots, who gave up, I want to say they gave up a lot of points to the Broncos, but the Broncos did have 3 fumble recoveries, interception. So I feel that Josh Gordon's still going to be good. Brandon Whedon seems to be out. He might be hurt. So they have so many QBs over there. I'm not sure how that's going to affect his stock. So look out for that with which QB is going to start, and look on from there. Probably Sunday. Give it Sunday right 11:30 a.m. because kickoff's about noon. Dez Bryant against the Bears. Dez Bryant had, I want to say it was a little quiet week, but he still had his points last week. I still think he's going to do good this week. Demaryius Thomas versus the Titans. Last week was Eric Decker. This week I believe it'll be Demaryius Thomas. It's your time. Julius Thomas might be out again. I think D. Thomas, it's your time to shine this week. Larry Fitzgerald versus the Rams. Red zone. He's going to be in it. He's going to get his targets. He's going to get his touchdowns. That's it. Number 9, A.J. Green versus the Colts. Now, the Colts defense is supposed to be this big powerhouse, and we've obviously seen the lack of that, and I think A.J. Green has a good game this week against them. Antonio Brown versus the Miami Dolphins. He's been down lately, but Brown is actually at home, and he's been amazing at home. I think he does good. And let's go with the top 5 tight ends this week, and this is what we'll end the show with. Rob Gronkowski against the Browns. It's the Browns and it's Gronk. Get him in there. He's going to cost you, but he's going to do it. Jason Witten at Bears. Witten can be lethal, little mid to downfield. I think he's going to have a great game. I think Romo's going to hook up with Witten for at least a touchdown this week. I put Jimmy Graham, but they are going to, it's at home, but they're going up against the Panthers, who have the best defense, and he's still kind of hobbled, so he does get his points through everything. But I put him down there because of his price, and he's still injury prone, and he's going up against the Panthers. Seattle Seahawks, Vernon Davis. The 49ers are going into Seattle, which we just saw against the Saints proves deadly. Vernon Davis can overcome that defense. Will he? I don't know yet. That's why you need to check everything, and he's going to cost you. We can get better. And fifth, I put Greg Olsen and against the Saints. Now, it's Cam Newton. We don't know how Cam Newton's going to do. He usually does really good. It is at home versus at Saints. I think Greg Olsen's going to be a sneaky tight end play. He's not going to cost you a lot, and we're going to be able to get that Calvin Johnson in there or that Andre Johnson. We're going to get that running back that we need. We can get that top tier to mid tier QB. We can bring home that bacon this week. We can bring home lots and lots of bacon this week. So if you like this, please comment, subscribe, share. Go over to my blog over at fantasysportsadvice.sportsblog.com. Share all my stories. Please get me up there. I want to give you guys a PS4. I really do. I have an extra one, and there's a story over there if you want to search through them. It's a few pages back. I want to give that away. I want you guys to bump me up in the rankings so you guys get the money. Now, please go check that out over at fantasysportsadvice.sportsblog.com. Follow me on Twitter at Braden22, BRADEN22, www.facebook.com/fantasysportsguru22. Spread it. Let everyone know about it. Please. Thank you. Thanks for following. Good luck this week in your year-long league or your daily fantasy sports. Bring home the bacon. Check back for more articles. Have a great week. Cash in this week.